Oh, I totally gotta use that Hollywood Undead song in the next video. That'd be so funny. I could definitely put it... Yeah, I could totally do... Who could that be?
You thought you could get away from me, didn't you, with this show cancellation? But no, there's no escaping me. In fact, I had to get a new mask because you got the show canceled.
No. We said we were not doing these sketches anymore. What are you even doing here? I don't understand. What is going on?
Well, don't worry about that, mate. I got you something great. Check this out in great detail.
Sweet baby rays. I put this on my ribs.
Oh, I forgot you're the video game guy. Okay, Mr. Video Game Guy, I got something for you. Something you're going to absolutely love. Alright, here you go. Fresh out the menu. Enjoy. This is a classic right here.
Get out of my house.
Alright, I'll come back anytime.
Rolo report.
You know how I make all these videos, you know, and like I be as goofy as possible, and I say all these things, you know, I go a little over the top sometimes with the jokes and all the, you know, hee hee ha ha ho, this game sucks, ha ha ha. A lot of the time, you know, it's phoning it in. In fact, in the beginning, I was pretty much copying Angry Video Game Nerd, but when I tell you the game in my hands might be the worst game I ever played, it's not a joke. In the Harvest Moon episode, I declared that that was what I consider to be a baby mama blunder. This is the other one. The Valkyria Chronicle series apparently is beloved. I don't know how. But this one, Valkyria Revolution, Holy Mother of God. From the gameplay, the narrative, how to not tell a fucking narrative, the lack of character development, just watch. I doubt I'm even going to get an hour into this game before I snap, so be prepared for a quick one. It's bad.
This video is not a review of Valkyria Revolution. This video is more of a retelling of my first experience with the game, with some review elements put in. As for a review, here you go. Don't play it.
Okay, so this game does one thing correct. It is a very solid opening video. You get all these cool shots of war and a very obvious anime waifu bullshit with this beautiful music. When I first put this in, I actually expected something of substance, when all I got was shit. Ooh, ominous. We'll play on normal for this one. To be honest, even with me being a weenie, I'd get bored even faster playing this on easy difficulty. Alright, so the game starts out explaining a bit of the backstory. I'm trying to follow it, and I doubt I'll get everything right because the game does this whole thing with the narrative and just try to keep up with me keeping up with the game. Apparently there was some magical rock called Ragnite. Through the power of alchemy, it could be used to channel mana, which basically is just magic, but can be used to power machines and stuff. I'm assuming those are the Valkyria? I don't play this series, so if someone does know in the comments, feel free to correct my ignorance. This game isn't worth Googling the answers to my questions. Anyway, so it seems that there was some sort of industrial revolution of sorts through the use of mana. The game then tells us about how some place called Europa? It's a country, I think. Apparently the entire world fell into war of imperialism due to the Ragnite. So Ragnite is essentially oil in their world. Got it. After that we are shown the country of Jutland. Apparently this is the setting of the game. All the way in the 1500s. It's been like 1,000 years or something since the imperialism war. Can't wait to... Okay, never mind. Now it cuts off to the 1900s. We are at a gravesite. According to some old professor lady and this pretty boy, the grave is known as the Grave of Five, and it's where the 5 traitors from the Liberation War are buried in wait. Another war happened? What the fuck? You can't do that shit! You can't throw one war in and then zoom us 1,500 years into the future and be like, oh, by the way, there was another war unrelated to the first one. It's been 4 fucking minutes! Anyway, the pretty boy is a conspiracy theorist, and I guess Grandma over here's great-great-great-grandma was in association with the 5 traitors, and he says that he thinks the 5 traitors weren't actually criminals at all, and she basically goes, well, no, they weren't. They chose to be traitors and put to death so they could watch over this place. Which again, what the fuck are we talking about? The pretty boy asks a whole bunch of questions. Even he is just as confused as I am. Okay, so Grandma is going to tell us the story passed down through her family about the Liberation War and the traitors. Okay, cool. I think I'm on track.
It was done out of love. A complex one at that.
Okay, so the whole purpose was love? I think I'm gonna throw up. Alright, so now we are being thrown back to the past once again. Are you keeping track? We were in the present, then explained the past. Then we explained a little further into the future, but also the past. Then we went back to the present, and then back to the past. This is not how you write a fucking narrative, guys! I'm so confused. I have no idea what is going on. And before you go, just play the game. You'll start to understand it. Listen here, motherfucker. I've played the first 6 hours of this game 15 fucking times, and I still have no fucking idea. Which means it's the writer's fault, not mine. I'm not a fucking moron. I understand the complexity of Kingdom Hearts. If I can understand that, but can't understand this, what does that fucking tell you? Anyway, we are in some field somewhere and everything is awkwardly quiet. So apparently this group is called the Vanargard, something, and the leader is Amlet, who is a brooding, generic protagonist. He's like Squall Leonhart, but with less swag. The rest of the group I have no fucking idea about for the most part. You see, this is where I'm going to lose it. Let's fucking count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 characters. All with names and personalities, all dumped on you at once. I understand this is like a battalion. We are going into a war here. But Wait, there's more characters? Okay, Princess Ophelia, yes, I can tell who she and Amlet are. They make sense. But then you got this blondie bitch and this one dude who's like British Light, and then Hope from Final Fantasy 13 and Sid from Final Fantasy 7 with a chick who looks like she should be in the library, and then there's a kid on a horse, and this is not how you write characters into a fucking story! I don't care who you are or how impressive your attention span is. All these characters have names. The names have been spoken, but I can't tell you any of them. Imagine you were fucking playing Final Fantasy 12, right? And you immediately started the game fighting Judge Geese on the Leviathan, and were introduced to all 6 characters at once with no exposition on who they are as people. But the entire time leading up to the fight, you had 20 minutes explaining all of King Wraithwall in the history of the Dawn Shard. Then you are sent immediately back to when Rex finds the king dead, only to be sent to the fight with Cid in Pharos. You would have no idea what is going on, and that is what this game just did to me. The thing that upsets me the most is that it seems like there is actual lore here that is being severely tarnished by such shit pacing. Again, this is like 10 minutes in. I have no idea who is who. What is what? I don't know why we are fighting here. Is it over Ragnite? I don't believe so, because that was the war that apparently happened 1,000 years ago. Is Amlet in love with the princess or something? Apparently they went to school together, so who fucking knows? How does the blonde chick manage to be a warrior fighting against gigantic robot machines? Why are they all using fucking swords when they have the option to use guns? Are the swords like using Ragnite too? How does the alchemy system work? They're anti-Valkyria, so I assume they aren't a big fan of using machinery, right? Or is there a difference between the Valkyria machinery and the weapons they use? Are you beginning to see why I have an issue with this game? Okay, Operation Recapture Molda. Don't know what that is, but here we finally get to play the game. Maybe the gameplay will make up for the overabundance of exposition in the narrative. The combat is a little interesting. It's not that good. It feels kind of clunky. But it does have potential here, which seems to be a running theme with this game. The game plays similar to a Tales game. You have a gauge that fills up, and when it does, you can attack. It also has stealth involved. Enemies have emotions to them, and you can take advantage of situations to defeat them more easily. There's also, stuff like you can duck behind walls and take cover to look over your shoulder to see what's coming up, and where enemies are positioned. If I had to explain it, mix Tales, Fire Emblem, and Dynasty Warriors together, and you got the combat system. Like the storytelling, it's a lot to take in at first. Luckily, you can just mash attack and beat everyone easily. After the first round, we get hit with more exposition. We see who our first villain is, some blonde dude who looks like a Thalmor from the Elder Scrolls. He says to tell the Majesty something or whatever. I have no idea what's going on. I just fucking work here, damn it. They talk about how there is a theory about how the war started, and some people think it has to do with some place called the Ruzi Empire preemptively starting it, or something. Who is the Ruzi Empire? Is it one of the several empires that were explained in the beginning? What is their motivation? To get Ragnite? But I thought that the war for that ended 1,000 years ago. Why is it so hard to follow? Oh yeah, because they jammed all this information in the first 5 fucking minutes of the game without letting shit breathe! After playing as Amlet, the game hands us off to Princess Ophelia. We now get to play as her and her squad. They play almost identical. There's very little variety here. The only difference is Amlet hits like a truck, Ophelia hits like a 1980s wrestling plushie. After a bit of combat, we enter a scene where the princess kills someone for the first time. She looks at the blood on her hands and is in complete shock. What the fuck did she think was going to happen? Amlet and the rest of the group basically tell her she needs to suck it up, and if she can't take the heat, Then get the hell out of there before she gets the other people killed. She then apologizes.
I am the princess. I am a soldier. Defender of the people, protector of the realm.
Yeah. Okay, honey. Are you trying to convince the group or yourself? There is no confidence here. It's at this point I need to point out the insane voice casting. You've got Greg Chun, Max Middleman, Benjamin Diskin, and her character hasn't shown up yet, but yes, Jeremy Lee is in fact a character in this game as well. There is so much talent in this goddamn game, and none of it is being able to shine through. It saddens me. Anyway, we fight some more and eventually run into... a dragon robot dinosaur thing. We see that it is piloted by the Thalmor guy from a bit ago, and apparently there is some history between him and Amlet. According to him, the guy's name is Balthus, and he works for whoever we are fighting against.
What's the big idea? What's the big idea? What's the big idea? What's the big idea?
Okay, we get it. Can you stop now?
What's the big idea?
Here, I do want to point out more to the combat. You see, we have a wheel of other abilities that we can use. Some seem to be magic-based and others machinery-based. For instance, you have grenades. And guess what? Amlet isn't a complete idiot. He does have a gun. Only problem is, he doesn't bring enough fucking ammo to use it the entire time. And it does piss for damage. How does a fucking bullet do less damage against steel than a fucking sword? The fight is pretty simple. Just focus on defeating all parts of the dragon, and whenever reinforcements come in, deal with them as well. After a few minutes, the fight is done. Honestly, I sort of was having fun for a second, and holy shit, rank A? All I did was press attack. Maybe I finally found a game I'm decent at. 260 KR? What the fuck is KR? The currency? Ugh, anyway. After the fight, Balthus runs away and Amlet gives chase. Both Princess Ophelia and the one dude follow him. When Amlet catches up to Balthus, he asks him about some chick named Miss Maria. We then get a flashback to a house on fire with these 5 creepy looking dudes and some blonde chick being taken away. Apparently, they're the Ruse's 4 Grand Generals, Balthus being one of them and the Emperor. And they kidnap this woman named Maria, and that's why Amlet is attacking Balthus? Is that what's going on here? How does this tie into the war? Is this why Amlet is a traitor? I'm just gonna stop asking questions. Amlet asks Balthus if he remembers, and Balthus literally has no idea what he is talking about. Goes as far to call her a slut, which triggers Amlet enough to brutally murder him on the spot. Such is the way of war. Amlet says he will never forgive what the Ruks did to them? Who is them? What did they do? Kidnap some woman? Who is Miss Maria? Why is she this important to him? Is she important to all the traitors too? Ophelia and the other dude witness the whole thing, and Ophelia questions Amlet on why he killed Balthus when that wasn't one of his orders. Amlet literally just stares at her and then dips out of there. And then, okay. I need to rant about this too. This game has so many goddamn loading screens. The amount of times I've seen now loading, sometimes within seconds of each other, is insane for a game that came out in what, 2017? This is almost PS1 levels of loading screens. Anyway, the game's narrative drags us to some place called Belgar Palace. What is it with these names? But it's very obvious this is the villain's place because it's dark and creepy, and all the dudes in here have smug, arrogant looks on their faces. Evil villains be evil indeed. They're informed that the war between Jutland and the Rux has begun, and the Emperor talks with some dude from Jutland who I assume is important about how he will have to go back to his homeland to help remedy the situation and potentially stop the war. And the bad guys just let him leave? That's an interesting move. But it doesn't really matter because the villains actually wanted to go to war with Jutland. Guess it was all a part of their plans all along too. It's a win-win for everyone involved. Bloodshed. Yay. Still don't know what the motivation is, but who cares? Next scene, we are in a big city, assuming it's Jutland, and the people apparently are happy about the war and that Jutland reclaimed some territory and the... Loading screen again. We are sent to the Jutland army base, but then it goes to a secret-looking hideout where... Oh, the 5? Is this the 5? These are 5. There's 5 of them. I'm gonna go on a limb here and guess this is them.
Public supports the war, and the opposing factions are being pushed back.
Ah, there we go. So Amlet and the rest of the 5 are talking about how he killed Balthus and that he didn't seem to remember Maria, to which they are all shocked and... Oh my god. I think I figured it out. I think I know what's going on here. So, if I got this correct, Amlet and his 4 companions here are the 5 traitors. All of them seem to have a connection with some chick called Miss Maria who was kidnapped by the Rux. The Rux are the bad guys of this game, and I am assuming they are looking for Ragnite, right? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Amlet gets promoted to captain, but in reality, he isn't in this war for Jutland. He is in it for himself and his group to find Miss Maria. Miss Maria must have been looking over them while they were children. The reason why they want her back is because she was essentially their foster mom, right? I haven't gotten that far, but that is my guess. The other members of the 5 include Solomon, who is the dude with silver hair and glasses. He has influence over the government of Jutland because he is a member of the representative of houses. The next is Leif Erikson. Frit Erikson. He is a writer in the local newspaper, so he have influence over the opinion court of people.
Mickey Bazonga's Lee here is Violet. She specializes in being
hot and got information from military weaponry people and intelligence.
And last we got Basil, but he just reused Booge from Persona 5.
But with Axel from Kingdom Hearts Wannabe Hair. He's special in being a foster Nepo baby and owns a magic art shop where we buy stuff later in the game.
Kinda weird that he would charge Amlet money if they have the same goal in mind to rescue Maria. The exposition game's whole intrigues is of here.
Ophelia and other dude find Amlet sus as fuck,
but still allow him to be promoted to captain.
Mommy, clearly Amlet has issues.
And other 5 except for Violet have issues for Daddy instead.
Why would they want to be branded as traitors and be buried together in a random field? Why is this even of importance like 200 years later?
Who is Maria? Hideout?
The 5?
Belgar Palace.
Why Emperor take Maria? Is Maria the blonde woman?
Characters Y introduces more, are we?
Brain convoluted, this by plot. Sorry, I am so my brain overloaded.
But Amlet loved Miss Maria Ophelia? Don't so I could feel.